Burnham benefits now from allowing Farage to do that whilst keeping this promise about going on with the 2024 mandate that Labour had, even though Burnham wasn't part of the team that was elected for that. But he goes on, we're going to carry on the mandate. We're going to carry on the mandate. What are they now promising to put forward? They're now talking about votes for 16-year-olds. They're now talking about PR, proportional representation. And I said this the other day. Proportional representation works well for nationalists in a very short amount of time. And I'll tell you why. Because if you get large chunks of voters that are willing to vote for a nationalist party in the next few years, let's say the NRP, oh, for fuck's sake, why am I doing this to myself? Let's say Alec Yerbring, all hail. Alec Yerbring stands up and he gains 8% of the national vote. That's 8% in Parliament. If we can find, I'm being hyperbolic, but if we can find 8% of the white vote to vote for a nationalist party, that's 8% of Parliament being nationalist MPs, right? However, and this is the big however, let's put the brakes on it, because I see a lot of people praising this idea. They're like, yeah, PR's great for us because we're 70% of the population. 70% of the population is not going to vote for a pro-white nativist party then. Proportional representation will benefit the Uni Party. It will benefit Labour. Votes for 16-year-olds will benefit Labour. I said this already. The youth is about 50% foreign. It's about 50% demographically replaced. Who do you think they're going to vote for? If it becomes PR, let's just take Burnham's election results in Makerfield, right? Let's say somehow Labour managed to, under Burnham, get 55% of the vote under PR. That's over half of Parliament. There's your clear mandate. Our demographic replacement continues. We've already began to hit Death Day, which is where the older boomer generations die out. The 11 million 60-year-old plus people, the 60-year-old plus white people begin to pass away. Well, there goes that demographic of voters. And then what are you left with? Well, now you're just left with a 50% youth split between white Brits and foreigners. You're left with the younger generation that are all mind raped anyway and all love ethnic replacement and they love watching themselves get replaced. Well, no, that's a lie. Our generation's kind of based. And then proportional representation seemed like a good idea at the beginning because it allowed some of your guys into Parliament. But as the older generations died off, as the younger generations were replaced, then proportional representation actually just benefits the Uni Party. And eventually, let's say the Green Party does get captured by an Islamic force that everyone keeps saying it will do, with its deputy at the moment, with its sectarian voting, with places like Gorton and Denton. Then what happens? You legitimize the foreign vote. You legitimize the sectarian vote. Because now you're not running a campaign based on... Now you're not running a campaign based on local areas and white collectivity. Now you're just running a campaign based on what your party going to offer. Then what? This is the issue. This is why it's all good cheering on PR, but I'm like, again, you're looking short term. Everybody just keeps looking short term. Everybody's looking in front of their nose. I'm like, hold on. Stretch out your arm a little bit. Look a little bit further. And that's why I said proportional representation is good for the short term, because you can see a chunk of nationalist MPs elected, but it won't be enough to secure any form of intense political power. And then we'll just be quashed anyway by our demographics.